Good morning, friends. Welcome to CMA US Learning, of course, at Bharadwaj. Thank you for the trust and confidence in joining the session. I invite Mr. Fenil Vadakken, who is having a large experience in talking to, industry, students, and of course, professionals interacting day to day across India and across the globe with various budding professionals as well as professionals. I request you to share your inputs and, of course, the benefit of doing this course. Thank you for joining and thank you for inaugurating. It's definitely, I would say, a blessing for us.
Most welcome, most welcome. So, very good morning, first of all, to all, and congratulations to all students or professionals who enrolled for the CMA program. I think you have taken a first step in your life, which is going to help you for your career journey. So CMA being one of the highest and largest management accounting professional body in the world, now we spread across 150 countries with around 140,000 members. And in the last couple of years, if you really look at the need of management accountants are increasing day by day. Few factors which affect that. One is definitely COVID, because at the time of COVID, people realize, because when we hear layoffs across the regions, one side, people start realizing if they want to be relevant in the industry, they need to be professionally qualified. They need to differentiate themselves in the market. That is one. And they found CMA is one of the best combination or best certification which they can look at. Second reason, we all know that we are living in the world of technology, analytics, and robotics. Are you future ready? If you look at a few years back, you might see that when you go to a shop, they will write the bill and give it to you. Now, the way how it is changed, you don't need a human to do your billing. For example, if you go to Decathlon, you go pick your item, put that in a basket, take it, and pay by your card and come back. There's not even a single person is required. So, according to the studies, what they say, 50% of accounting finance jobs which you see right now won't be there in the near future. In other words, it's called as the finance transformation. Any jobs which is repeated in nature is going to get automated. So many of the jobs which is traditional jobs as an accountant, which you have seen in the market, won't be there in the market. You need certain skills which you need to equip yourself to stay and relevant in the industry. How I will do that? Every 5 to 6 years, I will go around the world and ask the employers what kind of skill set you are expecting from your employees in the near future, or what the CFO team's expectation from the finance professionals. We call this process as job analysis study. As part of job analysis study, we create something called IMA, Management Accounting Competency Framework. And what skills are these? Strategy, planning, performance, reporting, control, business acumen, operations, technology and analytics, professional ethics and values, and finally centered with the leadership skills. So these are the skills which industry is looking at from professionals, and especially from a CFO team. Now, how CMA do that? The interesting part of CMA, it's a two-part exam, whereas we cover 12 core practice areas of management accounting. So you learn or you get expert in the areas of external financial reporting decisions, planning, budgeting, and forecasting, performance management, cost management, internal control, technology and analytics, one side, which comes under financial planning, performance and analytics. And part two, the second part exam, which again consists of six core areas, which is financial statement analysis, corporate finance, decision analysis, risk management, investment decision, and professional ethics. So we cover the topics which we discussed or the skill set which we discussed in the management accounting competency framework through our CMA certification and membership benefits. So there are two things. One is CMA, second one is IMA membership benefits. I'll talk about membership benefits later on. Now, we know that we are covering all these 12 core practice areas of management accounting under two-part exam. So definitely there will be questions asked like you have seen many of the Indian UK certifications, which is 12 to 17 exams in nature. How can you equate that much examinations in two-part exam? Again, when we talk about this exam, it's a two-part exam where it consists of 100 multiple choice question and two essay question per part examination. Now the difference, how if you really look at how the other certifications structured, if you look at Indian certifications or UK certification is called as foundation, then it goes to operations or what you call certificate level and CPT and then IPCC and then the final levels. But here what happens in these two exams, we test a candidate up to level C, which means you are not only tested on your knowledge and comprehension, we test you on your application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation skills. So we are not here to count the numbers. We are here to understand what is the concept behind the numbers. So the way of learning which is required while you're doing CMA, especially when you compare with Indian certifications when it comes to CMA, if the other certifications gives more importance to numbers, CMA give importance to application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation, which means, in very simple terms, if you look at, do you know how to light a bulb? You all know that you can switch on the light and the bulb comes and light it up. Am I right? But if I give you a tube light, a wire, and a plug or a switch, is it possible for you actually to connect and light it? That is the experience which industry looking at. Another report says 10%, only 10% of graduates in India are employable. Is it because there is no jobs available? Or is it because the expectations of the company and what we learn in our normal graduation or post graduation? The gap between what industry looking at and what we learn. Now, this is where the certifications like CMA comes and play a vital role. We bridge the gap between what industry looking at and what we learn in the normal graduation and post graduation. Now, when it comes to exams, as I told you, it's a two-part exam. Exams happens across the world, and the exam window are Jan, Feb, May, June, September, October, which means almost 6 months a year your exam window is open, which means well in advance you can block your date and block your time. The interesting part of it, you don't need to be worried about your university exams. You don't need to worry about your family functions. You don't need to worry about, any other festivals happen. So you know when it is going to happen. You can fix your date and start preparing from your syllabus and preparations. So we always say any students who enroll with CMA try to postpone their exams, always postpone their exams and expel or move out of the program. On the other side, the people who attend the classes, decide when they want to write the exam, and start preparing and going and writing in the first attempt, they pass exams much faster. Again, systematic preparation, I would say systematic and continuous preparation, and regular practice of question papers is very important to clear the exam as well as from learning. So this is the concept which we say there is no professional certifications can be taught. It need to be learned. So you have an institute to guide you. So that is two sides. So one is you learn it for your life, learn it for your passing your exams. So both are very important. One side you need to learn, understand every concept. There is nothing called this part is not important, which we do in our 12th graduation or post graduation. But here, what happens? Everything is important. You want to call yourself as a management accountant, and I'm not good in pricing. Do you think that works? No. So that's the reason behind every part is important. So you need to learn for your career, and the other side you need to learn for your exams. So you need to make sure practice, practice, practice. That's the best mantra for clearing the exams. Now it's a two-part exams, as I told you. You can write exam part 1 and then part 2, or part 2 first and then go to part 1. There is no compulsion you have to start with part 1 and part 2 together. There is no compulsion you need to write both part together. You can write one part in January, other part in May. So you have a flexibility to write exams based on your requirement. But I would suggest any students, they can actually prepare well systematically, can clear CMA in 12 to 18 months time. So that's where I would say anyone who is joining for the program, make sure you start preparing from today onwards. And as you are, most of you are from Tamil Nadu, one thing which I really noticed, you're all hardworking people. So really appreciate that. You're all very hardworking and you're getting into the program. Another thing, some of you are attending online classes, as per my understanding. Some of you are coming to the center and attending the classes. One of the most important thing, especially when you do CMA, please don't miss any classes. I'm sure sir will tell you about all this, but I thought of this is very important. I'll tell you what is the reason behind it. So all these subjects, when you prepare, if you miss one subject, it will be sometimes difficult for you to go back to the faculty. You feel what the faculty feel, I missed the class. When you go to the students, your own colleagues, that might also, you might not get enough knowledge. So one request, make sure that you are not missing any classes and attend all classes. In case if your health issues or something happened, please go and talk to your faculty and say, I lost my classes because of this reason, and I really want to understand the topic well. Please don't keep anything for the last. Make sure, even when the class is happening, if you have a doubt, make sure you are clear your doubts, clear your concepts. So when we talk about how to understand, how to learn concept learning, I used to tell, if you have anyone at your home who is in the age between 3 to 7 years old, just go and talk to them, say, just give them a mouse and say this is a mouse. What they will do, they will ask you at least 5 to 6 questions. They will just click here and there and bang it and give it back to you. Am I right? So this is where I would say concept learning. Ask yourself questions. You should ask, like for example, when we learn a net profit ratio, why we need to learn net profit ratio? When we do marginal costing or anything for that matter, first you have to understand why we are doing that. Then we have to understand what is the concept behind it. Then we have to understand where we are going to apply that. So this is the kind of learning which you need to inculcate in you. And one thing I'll tell you, once you crack CMA, you can crack anything in the world. So that's where I would request all of you to prepare well. Finally, to qualify yourself as a CMA, you need to complete both part exams. You need to be a graduate, 2 years of relevant experience, and an active membership. So the question come back, whether an undergraduate can write the exam. Yes, you can write the exams. But to qualify or to certify or to get the title, You need to also ensure completed your graduation and 2 exams completed, 2 years of relevant experience and active membership. Now, the question pattern, it's a 4 hours exam, 3 hours for multiple choice, and 1 hour for two essay question. And how is our essay questions in schools and colleges? You need to write pages and pages. Here, the interesting side, you will get a scenario and there will be multiple questions asked from that. You need to only answer to that. So the interesting part, it's not about writing. It's all about, giving your answers in a structured manner which justify your points. So that is what the essay questions. So you need to score at least, or you need to answer at least 50% of your questions correct in order to open the exam essay window. So that you have to make sure. So what I would request those who are preparing, try to score as much as possible in the objective question. So that also reduce your stress towards essay question. So your preparation, and that's the reason behind your preparation practice is very important. So you have to first practice the question, then you have to practice questions based on the timing. So if you start doing that, that will help you to pick up your answers and give your answers really well. Now, once you write the exam, within 1.5 months, your result is there in your inbox. So that's easy. You don't need to wait for months and months. Now, 80% of CMAs completed the certification field. Their certification enhanced their ability to move across areas of business, which means you can work in accounting, finance, IT, operations, and even in the senior executive levels. 34% of people who completed CMA in the world currently work as CEOs, CFOs, and controllers. 22% of them work as directors and managers. 33% of them are like freshers who completed their graduation. Maybe I would say in the first 3 to 5 or 7 years of their career journey. They are the ones who work as accountants. They work in F&A, FP&A, costing, pricing, investment, risk analyst, business analyst, even in the areas of financial crimes. So these are the areas where we have seen the fresh CMAs start working in the corporate world, and there are some of them are entrepreneurs themselves. So if you really analyze their profile, I would say accountants and analysts ideally analyze certain things and create certain reports for the next level. Managers and directors, they themselves might be decision makers or prepare the final report for the top level decision makers. And 34% of them who completed CMA are decision makers themselves. So this is the kind of career path which is open to you, those who are getting into CMA. We qualified 1 lakh plus or 100,000 CMAs across the globe. Will you be the next one? You can hold the certificate when you are there in the CMA. So we do have a lot of support system as a member. I'm not going in depth of it. We do have a leadership academy as a membership benefit. So first you have to be a member in order to pursue your CMA. So you start your CMA and then your institute will guide you how to take up IMA membership. So IMA membership, it also give you a lot of access to IMA Leadership Academy, career drive tool, the chapters. We do have a chapter, like in India, we do have 8 chapters and even one in Chennai. So whenever the chapter organize events, and all these, mostly of these events are free, you are all welcome to attend these events. So you meet the people who are senior members, who are directors or VPs or CFOs of the companies, as well as student fraternity. So it's a platform where you can relearn, unlearn, and upgrade and network with people or who are other CMAs and members in that region. And when you attend these, you can get these titles and which can be used in your social media. We do have a wonderful career drive tool. I think that it will take some time for you. So I don't want to go in depth of that right now, that you can explore yourself. It's a wonderful tool to test, assess your skills, plan your path, and set your future. It's free for our members. And we do have a lot of free certification or short certifications, which is extended to our members. Please don't miss out anything. These are a great opportunity to equip. So that's where I'd said, the difference of membership is like we all talk about the industry is changing. So the question come back like I'm completing my CMA today, and maybe within a year time there might be some changes happens. How I update myself. So IMA membership also gives you access to a lot of webinar, postcards, live events, and courses. This enables you, our members are equipped with or updated with the skills which is required for the future. So we do a lot of events across the region. So some of these are here, and I'm not going in depth for this. The only request which I have with all of you, those who are intend to write their exams in the next 6 months, please apply for a passport. When you go to the exam center, the one document without any questions which they ask is passport. If you have a passport, you don't need to carry anything. So that will help you to go for exams without any trouble. And the next thing, when you register with IMA, make sure your name in the passport and name with IMA is same. Otherwise, you can use the combination IDs, but again, it's a challenge because sometimes what we see in the spelling mistake or the structural change in the like Fenil Vadakken Sunny. My full name is Fenil Vadakken Sunny. In some places, is Fenil Vadakken. Some places is Fenil VS. So you need to look at all these before taking the structure. So this is one thing which I want to communicate. I'm not going to take you to the entire presentation right now. That itself is going to take another 1 hour. So which I don't want to do, which we do ideally like to give the lot of information for our providers to guide you. This is how it is done. But any questions? I think I'll keep it now open. First of all, thank you very much for giving this opportunity to address all the students. Looking forward, you're going to change the market again with more and more CMAs coming forward. I really appreciate your dedication and focus in preparing the students for the certifications. Any questions from the students or anyone, please? I'm happy to answer. I think everyone can use the chat box. That is one option.
Hi, sir. This is yes, sir. Hi, hi, Palanichamy sir, and hi, Fenil sir. This is Loga, and thank you for this opportunity and joining this CMA US classes. Sir. I'm like bit excited to pursue because I'm starting my studies after 15 years after BCom. So yeah, sir advised me to take this, and he told me that it will be very helpful for me for the working professional. So I'm going with sir's words and with all my knowledge that I had gained it during my work. So my basic doubt is this. Once we pass the exams and we have to retain the membership for that, we have to pay annual subscription fees.
Membership fee.
If
Membership fee.
yes, yes. Sir. So how it works, like if you are making it in our resume and we are not paying the annual subscription fees because I heard it earlier. So, will that still be valid for us? Sir?
So I'll tell you, for any professional body, like any professional certification, membership renewal is important. First, to keep your status. First, if you want to call yourself as a CMA, you need to have that with you first. Second thing, what happens when you join or when you're enrolling or, when you're taking up a new job? Your corporate, you communicate to them you're a CMA. I mean, you have a certification that is valid, but the problem is they will ask you, we want to connect with the professional body to verify that you are an active. It's called good conduct certificate. As a member, whether you're a good conduct member. So when your corporate reach out to IMA, if you're only an active member, we can communicate. Otherwise, what we say, okay, this person completed CMA, but he's not an active member, which means your good conduct. with the professional body cannot be updated if you're not an active member. So that happens with any professional body for that matter. Again, like you got CMA, you passed both exams, but in order to keep your certification or you keep to your title, you need to keep your membership fee. Now, what happens? Membership fee, that is one criteria of it. The other reason behind it, the point which I mentioned. Now, today you completed your CMA. Just imagine today you completed your CMA. In the next 2 years or to 2 to 3 years, you might see a lot of changes, not a lot of new concepts coming into the accounting, technology, analytics field. Now, how you are going to update or how an organized like that updation is which is required in the industry. Now, what as a membership body, because we are also member, one is qualification, one is we are also a membership body. So we ensure our members get the relevant knowledge through different sources, which includes webinar, podcast, live events. And the good thing in India, most of the live events are free for our members. There are a lot of event chapters organized. So by attending all this, you update your knowledge with the relevant trends and stuffs which is happening. That's the one additional reason behind what I would say that why you need to keep your membership live. It also gives you an opportunity to be very active in chapter and global boards and a lot of opportunities within IMA itself, so which you can explore once you start engaging yourself. You want to see how you give back, and if you really give back, we also engage you more and more with IMA. So there are a lot of reasons why that's the reason behind you need to continue your membership. I think I answered.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Loga. I think there is a question from Karthik. Karthik?
Yes, good morning, sir, and good morning to very good morning and great pronouns to PC sir and Fenil sir. And I'm really excited to restart this journey. So I have a long association or long in the waiting for PC sir for years together, and excited to start this journey again. Uh, One question, sir. Earlier, as we understand for the prometric test, we understand that we have to appear for this prometric test or the examinations at the global centers across the world. And is it still valid, or is it now made available for students who are appearing for the exam from India as well? Or should we travel abroad and appear for the exams?
Oh, no, 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 no. That is, I don't know when. I mean, long time back, we started with exams across India, sorry, across the world, including India. As per my knowledge, at least last 10 years, as per my knowledge, even before that, I'm not, I don't want to comment on that. At, no, not even 10 years. Like I'll tell you, for example, because I was working with another professional body, so I know a CMA that time as well. So which means ideally 6 plus 5, 11, 12, 13, 14. Last 14 to 15 years, I know it's exams are happening in India as well. We do have 8 exam centers across India, and there is one additional temporary center comes in one particular city because the demand of exams for 2 weeks itself is more than 400. So that's where we able to create one city, another additional 2 weeks kind of exam platform. Otherwise, permanent exam centers are there in 8 locations. Now, I tell you the reason behind long time back people travel abroad because when you go and write exams outside, there was a reciprocal membership long time back with Indian cost accountants, which we had, which is discontinued. Uh, I don't know. It was benefit for us or not, but definitely for them it was a good benefit for them to get the international CMA. And CMA is the title which is the registered mark of IELTS in India. And even though we still sometimes in some locations it's people call as CMA US because they don't want to differentiate themselves in that way. Yes, otherwise you can write exams anywhere.
Great, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Loga. I think you have one more question. Looks like.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So how competent we are with the Indian CME? And another question is like if we have completed Indian CME and we can get your CMA, is there any other additional qualification that we get out of your CME once we
No,
obtain the certification?
even if you are any certification qualified, you won't get CMA. Now, IMA is very clear, you need to earn it. Even if you look at our like 2 years campaign, it is called as earn it, which means even if you're a CEO, CFO, like even we have directors, senior vice presidents and CFOs of companies even doing CMA. Even for them, even if you are double qualified, triple qualified, still you need to like you need to write both part exams and get qualified. So there is no reciprocal. That's one. Second thing, we really appreciate all the certifications, and I would say every certification are created in the world with a particular purpose to service and support the industry. In India, we do have three prestigious institutes like CACWA and or now it is called ICAA, ICAI, and ICSI. So all these certifications are great certifications. We acknowledge. We never compare with any certifications. And there are global certifications, other global certifications like CFA, CPA, a lot of certifications. Every certification is created their benchmark and focus towards a particular area. For example, CA, ACCA, CPA, ICAW, all these certification focus more on audit, tax assurance, compliance, and which every country required based on certain requirement, and people go for that, and we respect that. And on the other side, management accountants are, I would say, a financial accountant look at what happened in the organization, or they evaluate. They do the valuation. Am I right? See, is if you look at the evaluation, they do the valuation. If they do the valuation, the role of a management accountant is to create more value for the organization. They look at what happened. They look at the financial statement, balance sheet, P&L account, and also look at what industry you want to look at in their future. They bridge the gap between a financial accountant and a business to take a right decision to take it forward. Now, the question asked you about Indian cost accountants. That's also one of the great certification in India, which is well recognized in India. But CMA is a global certification. You see a lot of similarities between the subjects, where definitely Indian CWA cover tax rules of Indian land, whereas the management, if you really look at management accounting, we don't deal with the tax assurance compliance side, which is done by chartered accountants or public accountants in the respective countries. So if you really ask me in that way, all are great certifications. Here, the benefit of USCMA, it's a global certification, two-part exams you cover and you are tested till the level C, which is application analysis, synthesis, and evaluation, the same exam. So you don't need to spend a lot of years after first level, foundation level, next level kind. You don't need to spend time in that way. Faster in nature, multinational companies recognize CMA much US certification, because end of the day you need, like when you work for an outsourced work of US, they also prefer somebody is US qualified in that particular country. That's one option. And CMA, if you look at CMA as a title, CMA US is the title which is well known across the globe. So that's how we differentiate. I don't want to say one certification is bad, other certification is great. And CMA, we stand out in the market.
Thank you, sir.
Any other? It looks like both of you are working professionals or getting into the profession.
Yes, sir. 15 years experience in MNCs.
Wow, great. I think there is a question on the fees. See, IMA fee for a professional comes to around $1,500, and IMA time to time gives some kind of discounts on membership entrance fee, which can be 30%, 40%, or 50%. And whenever it comes in, you can take the advantage of that. And usually it happens in every 6 months. I mean, every 6 months, twice a year. Right now it is happening, and I don't want to give you a promise for the future. So that is time you can register yourself and get some kind of discounts on that for the professionals. And the students who are doing full-time graduation or full-time post-graduation, like which means you're attending classes regularly in a college for a full-time degree or PG program, you get a discounted price, which is costing you approximately around $945 plus GST on the membership and entrance component. You can also register with IMA when the public offers comes in, so you get also some discounts on your total fee. So that's one. And apart from that, your training material fee and all that will come up. So that definitely you can go back and check with your institute. But I really appreciate, first of all, the people who are taking up this decision and getting into CMA, understanding the value of the certification. And I personally know that there are like more and more institutes are now moving from Indian certifications to international certifications. The one primary reason behind it, when we look at the generation, people want to get things much faster. They don't want to spend years and years. So they look at which can give you the same rigorous knowledge, but on the same time, I want to complete as soon as possible. So that's where I would say US certifications are gaining the ground in this market as well. Like for example, 2019, if I look at, we had only 2,600 members in India. Right now we are around 17,000. So you're also once you enroll, you will be one among them, which is a niche crowd. But on the same time, if you look at the growth, definitely we cannot compare with Indian certification, which is the certifications for the land. But especially the people getting to CMA are people who are really looking at getting into the multinational company or going abroad, or you want to stand out in the market as an internationally qualified person. So all these act like create more value for us, and more people are joining for the program. So I think I covered fee part, but you can get a detailed free breakup from the website, or I have to open another presentation. Please let me know if you want the breakout. Otherwise, any other questions? You want the breakup as well? Okay. Give me 1 minute. Let me open the file. Yeah, here you can see the breakup. So professional, your application fee, membership fee, entrance fee, which together comes up $555 plus GST, where you can, whenever the public offer comes in, we will inform your sir, and sir can give you advance notice, at least 2 weeks, 1 week to 2 weeks advance notice. So you can register that time and get some offers. And your exam part cost 460. Now, the exam part, there is no GST currently as per the country law. So there is no GST for that. For application, membership, and entrance fee, there is a fee. Now, when it comes to a student fraternity, which means those who are doing full-time undergraduate or full-time postgraduate program, their membership fee and entrance fee together comes to around $255 plus GST, and each of their examination will cost them $345 and $345. So this is the breakdown. The validity of entrance. Okay, the question is the validity of entrance fee. The validity of entrance fee is 3 years. Validity of membership is 1 year. Do you have any corporate discounts? We don't have any corporate discounts like that. So which corporate you work, Rajesh? Come back to me. Maybe that will check whether any specific corporates which I am directly working, or at the same time we don't actually work. Okay, Ford Motors. Okay, fine. You need to get back to us. I need to check because I don't think anything is there right now except your company sponsored me, and looking forward you all being members. Maybe in the next couple of months, hopefully we'll be able to meet somewhere, in any of our chapter events or direct events. And what I would request, I think, sir, you can continue. Can I leave?
Yes, sir. I will start, but before that, thank you so much for giving the wonderful view about the CMA US course as such. Number one. Number two, it's a privilege to have you in this particular thing because it becomes a kind of a confidence for the students that a person from IMA is present and senior country manager is present, explains the benefit of the course, and you've given a detailed presentation about what the course is, what the syllabus is, how the exams are, what are the benefits. It will definitely motivate them to study, and especially you also covered how to prepare also. That normally a teacher will do, but you have done the extensive coverage. Thank you so much, sir, for being here and motivating the students.
Most welcome, sir. Thank you very much. Good day to everyone and all the best wishes. As mentioned, prepare from the day first itself, don't keep it for the last minute.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
Bye. You can remove me from the co-host. So in case if I close it, hopefully it not
Sure,
get
sir.
closed.
You can leave.